Stadium trucks are getting ready to go racing. So, Matt Nolte, there isn't a better way to finish off what's been an awesome Friday here at Barbagallo.
Fridays in Perth, Jess, beautiful sunshine and Stadium Super Trucks. Thank you for that. Looking forward to race number 1 of the weekend and round 8 of this year's Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks. It's a full inversion of qualifying. It gives the rookie, Bo Robinson, a pole position. And Mr. Front Row, Bill Hines, will start alongside him, Sean Cermony.
Right, row 2, we got Sean Richardson. He's back after his first podium at the end of last year in Surfers Paradise. All right, and up right next to him is going to be Craig Dantas, no stranger to Stadium Super Trucks. On down to our fastest competitors towards the back of the pack. You're going to see your Sheldon Creed, your Gavin Harlan's, of course your Matty Brabhams, Paul the Dude Morris. So that is a full inversion from qualifying this morning. The faster you are, the more you get slapped on the wrist. So the faster guys to the back of the pack, slower guys to the front of the pack. Now this is going to be an all-out battle. It's going to be a total of 11 laps. One of them is going to be a competition caution map,
which we'll talk about. It will happen at the top of turn number 5. We used to do a full lap of a competition caution, but now we try to stack them up towards the back end of that lap so we still get a fair amount of racing in. It's something we tried at St. Petersburg, and it was pretty successful there, and we kept it for the Long Beach round in California just a couple of weeks ago. And now we get set. It's the first time in Western Australia and the first time on a road course for the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks. Really impressed with Jake Kostecki's effort earlier today. Went up and shook his hand and he said, yeah, it was a bit of fun.
Yeah, he was saying that right after. He was having so much fun. He's like, this is like nothing I've ever drove. But you'd think he'd been in it for
forever.
A season or two,
yeah.
the way he had drove it. You know, the young man like that, you know, he doesn't have a lot of fear, but right now his heart is racing. This is a new form of racing, something he hasn't done. Now they are going to be swapping a little bit of paint. They are going to be maybe losing the occasional body panel here and there. So right now, good news and bad news. Good news is only 1 minute away from going green, so that is the 1 minute warning. That is ultimately directed to the number 83 of Matty Brabham. He is in the DeVilbiss truck. That is his new livery this year for the rest of the season out of Carlisle company that is DeVilbiss and Hawk Brakes. Now he's sitting there just getting the hood or the bonnet put back on. And so great news for the race fans. We're less than a minute from going green here. Awful news for Matty Brabham, who is second in points chasing down the dude. He needs to get out there and get ready to rock and roll.
He's had to leave for the last garage, which is next to our commentary position here, run up across the bridge and down into the lane on the opposite side of the track and jump in. So that's why we've got that slight delay in the start of this race.
2 firsts for Matty Brabham today. 1 being first time ever in a supercar, so a great experience for him as he's getting some seat time there. And they are off and running. The flag is up and going. We didn't hear from race control just yet, but it looks like they are off and in full effect. So Brabham still struggling there in the paddock, in the pit area right now, getting the hood on.
So we believe it's not a power steering belt on the truck. Word from Cameron Vanderdogen from pit lane.
Oh, we got one off in the weeds already. It looks like that is Bo Robinson. No, actually it was Gardner. Gardner in the 410 R&J Batteries truck. He swapped a little bit off coming out of turn 1. Got spent off into the sand and into the grass. As we are on board right now with a Ridge Rider himself, Paul the Dude Morris, up on 3. They pile in, smoke bellowing up all the tires, 4 wide going through this section.
Now we've never raced through this part. It's a bit cheeky across the inside of the track for Robbie Gordon. He's hanging tough on the outside as onto the shorter main straight. It's only a 1.1 mile course as the side-by-side action goes down to the bottom here at turn number 7 to complete lap number 1. And you'd think this was the final lap.
We just said, not we, let me back that up. Robbie Gordon just said in the driver's meeting, guys, make sure we stay off the grass and out of the sand so we don't drag sand into the track, as Robbie is a huge offender of it. He goes wide in the grass. Now we got Harlan. He's mowing the lawn in the Royal Purple truck as well. So we are going 2, 3, and 4 wide already on lap number 1.
Oh,
2 trucks real sideways. Oh, and we've got a truck up and over, a big pirouette. That was a big wreck right now for the always evolving AE now number 75.
And that's Jake Kostecki. He's not going nowhere in a hurry.
He is hoping he is still going to be up and going, but he is on a 3-wheeler. Now I'm hoping that means Kostecki saying, hey, you know what, I am okay. Granted, he's young, he's only 17, you know, he's still a little bit rubbery there. That was a wild crash, but no real crazy hard hits. You can see the cage there, everything's intact, everything's in good shape, except now he is down to a 3-wheeler. That was a wild ride right there for Kostecki.
That's a lot of damage to this truck. I haven't seen a truck pull apart like that in a long, long time. And what a baptism of fire. Gives a thumbs up to the safety crew down here, and the Reds have come out. They're warned about this going side by side through here in the driver's briefing this morning. Two trucks get together in midair. Nothing you can do about it there. And look at the way. And the dude was lucky. He probably got a bit of damage to his truck too on the way through. But massive damage to truck 75, the always evolving entry that we'd see Eric Davison in contact.
Wow.
With Hines, perhaps. Midair.
Real wild ride there. I have seen every lap of this series. I have yet to see a truck come apart like that, but it really doesn't matter what happened to the truck or how it happened. All that matters is that Jake Kostecki is in good shape, and he's giving thumbs up saying he's all right. And it looks like we're going to go into another replay here in just a moment. Really extreme, super slow-mo.
Contact with Melbourne. So it's Melbourne he's clashed with midair, slowing it right down. And contact like magnets in the midair.
Both of them sideways on their own. It looks like to me, both those trucks ran it in on the loud pedal a little too deep. They both unloaded the sidewalls of the tires and the suspension, everything unloaded together. They contacted, and it looks like Jake, he got the short end of the stick on that deal. Travis Melbourne got the ride of his life, was able to hang on to it. And with that type of force coming down the ground, something has to give.
Yeah.
And luckily it did. The truck kind of just started coming apart in different parts and pieces. Gardner has a front row spot, says, oh my goodness, I'm so happy that's not me.
But he'd be smiling anyway.
No, he's always smiling. Look at that.
Dude. All those years of experience.
I believe what we're going into the third rollover already right now. 3, completing 4, up in a pirouette.
Look at Morris, at the contact it's made.
Oh, Morris gets it right in the driver's side window. Completing 4, coming around, almost completing 5. Super slow-mo. It's almost a work of art right now as we see Jake in there for a wild ride. It's almost like as if a lion was taking down a gazelle with all the dirt and sand flying all over the place, and the truck's going after him. The dude, he just gets out of it safely. Gartner gets out of it safely. Melbourne gets out of it safely. And Jake Kostecki.
Look at the camera angles we have got here around today. This is phenomenal. That is incredible. That is the shot of the year.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That is cool.
On board with the dude. He's just a couple drivers back here. That's some exciting stuff. Just listen to those trucks eating those big V8 motors just wide open.
So watch it unfold in front here. We're riding with Paul Morris down into turn number 1. So watch the 2 trucks ahead. You can see the turquoise and black truck make contact. And watch the dude. He's mid-air thinking about what's going to happen and just takes evasive action at the last second.
Wow. Now, looking at that, no one did anyone any harm. No one did anyone any wrong there. That both those trucks, and keep in mind, folks, we've been wanting to take that jump and the downhill jump as well and move them farther up the track. We haven't gotten the Stadium Super Trucks had not gotten the okay to do that. Robbie Gordon, myself, a few others, we wanted them further up so that they're hitting the trumps when they're straight. So that now they're coming on it, and the whole truck's loaded. The sidewall, the tires loaded, the suspension loaded, the chassis loaded. And when you're coming around sideways, if you don't have that truck straight, it's going to unload the opposite direction. And that's what happened to both competitors here with poor Jake and the always evolving Replay XD truck having the short end of the stick on it.
So the red light's still on here at Barbagallo Raceway. Let's go down to pit lane with Cam.
Yeah, well, while that story was going on, we saw Matty Bradman. We didn't get a start in that one. It spat a belt. Had done any other damage in there?
No damage, just mechanical failure. I think the alternator carked it and it threw the belt. So we thought we could come in, change the belt, get back out there. But hopefully the guys are working on it behind us here, so we can get hopefully an alternator change, put a belt on it, and give him a run in the last caution.
Now, mate, congratulations on the Supercars drive. We won't talk that, though, because we're talking Stadium Super Trucks. Now, you and I were just watching Jake Kostecki replay. You've had your fair share of incident in these. That was a wild old ride.
Yeah, I think I've never seen somebody do so many flips over. So he's obviously qualified for the Olympics already, and I hope he's okay. But it looked like he was grabbing gears after he rolled us. He was still ready to go, so looked like he was okay. And obviously, we hate to see that. But hopefully he can jump back in, get his truck fixed tomorrow.
Now, Sean Sermony was just saying that they wanted to move the ramp a little bit. I spoke to Craig Dontis before, and he said it's real quick. How quick is it from the truck, these ramps here, compared to, say, Gold Coast where you've run before?
I don't think the ramp speed is too different, but obviously the track is just way quicker. We haven't raced on a road course before, so it's been quite interesting. Way more grip at tracks like this. So it's been, obviously a little bit to get acclimatized to. Paul Morris and I are the quickest guys, and I think it's just because we're road racers. So the jumps aren't too bad. I mean, I think the guys will get used to them, especially the newer guys in the series, and once they get used to them, we'll be right.
All right, let's see. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Nah, thumbs up. So maybe Matty will be getting out there, guys.
Stroke of luck perhaps for him. Thanks, Cam, down in pit lane there. He's got the fireproof overalls on from last year's Indy 500. Have a listen to this one more time. It's almost like a 21-gun salute.
Yeah, if you had your eyes closed, you'd think we were in like Las Vegas at a shooting gallery or something. As these trucks, wild ride. Look at it one more time at speed. Now, you see a truck like that come apart, and you just think, wow, that's horrible. Well, you know what? It's actually not. Yeah, Stadium Super Trucks is down one truck right now, but that doesn't matter. The truck actually did its job, and it shed its pieces and shed its parts. And if you look right here, pretty wild ride, but a lot of rolling, a lot of tumbling, no hard hits to the cage, and the truck did its job, and everything's looking good for him.
Similar, but not like too much the Matt Mingay rollover at Adelaide last year. Remember, Bert Jenner come through and rode over the top. Very similar.
That's a perfect example. Exactly, very similar to that, and then the same thing with that one. There's nothing, but this one was, I think, maybe a little more speed, maybe not. It's hard to say from this angle here. Look at both of them. They didn't touch each other coming off the ramp. They both came in that ramp with the left side of the race car loaded. So it was loaded all the way up the ramp, and as soon as it got in the air, that allows everything to unload, and it unloads fast. And so that's what happens here, especially when you have that much sidewall of a tire and thing, and this is the ending result. Now, also at the same time, Travis Milburn only having a handful of races in Stadium Super Trucks. He got really lucky right here, and I think that maybe if Jake wasn't there, he would have maybe come around more, and he would have rolled as well. But maybe Jake possibly helped him from rolling over. And there is Paul Morris. What's he got to say?
Let's have a listen. Yeah. What was that all about? Everything we said in the briefing, we did the opposite of.
Yeah, absolutely. You see him looking over at Robbie Gordon saying, wow, that was absolutely wild. Looks like they've got the mess cleaned up again. And looks like we are live and up and running. Lap 2 of 11 so far. This is a timed race, but we're at the end of the day. Maybe we'll get it all in, maybe we won't. All I know is the action's not over.
Incredible shot, that one. So we head around turn 1, and guess who leads? It's Bill Hines all the way from Pennsylvania. Bo Robinson back to second place. Craig Dontis, who was a race winner in Adelaide, is up to third spot now. That's Melbourne, Creed and Gartner. So Smiley holding up the group here at the moment. The R&J Batteries entry. Robbie Gordon in that menacing Speed Energy number 7.
Now you see Bo Robinson. This is his first time in a Stadium Super Truck. Hopefully what he just watched happen on in this last roll over here, he's going to remember that and say, hey, man, got a long weekend. Let's just get through it. Let's calm down. And he doesn't need to chase Bill Hines right now. He just needs to keep the truck together and get as many points as he can throughout the weekend as Hines goes over the Auto Masters ramp, down the ski jump down the hill, leading another lap. Bill Hines way out in front with a huge lead.
He's been busy this weekend behind the wheel of an Aussie racing car as well, so he hadn't even seen the track until he got here this morning. And now he leads this race by a fairly handy margin, if you don't mind, as Robinson decides to take exit stage left on the main straight, allowing Sean Richardson, the UK-born racer now living in the United States, to move up into the second position. You're on board with Paul Morris now, the Ridge Rider, number 67.
Paul Morris looking good, putting some pressure on Robbie Gordon. You see another truck real sideways. That is Gartner. We saw Gartner sideways on lap 1. We now see him sideways on lap 4. Have a little bit of struggle there. That ramp's throwing him off. That ramp needs to move farther up the track for these guys to be able to hit it straight and get straight down from the truck unloaded. Look at the big torque wheelies as they go around that long left-hander up on 3 wheels. All in. A little bit of contact there. Gartner gets in the court and says, move out of the way, boss man. I'm coming through.
Gartner's like, I don't want to damage the truck today. They're all warned about just bringing these trucks home in one piece. Well, that lasted one corner in this race. But Hines, he's disappearing and hoping Richardson just stacks the field up. To approach the half race distance, down the inside goes Gordon. And it's 3 wide behind here. Creed from the back of the field. is now up into the third position. What a shot. Seriously, that is going to be there forever.
That is absolutely just a massive shot right there. As you see Creed in the number 1, he's in his new library. That is the Safecraft safety equipment number 1 of Sheldon Creed, our 2-time points champion here in the worldwide Speed Energy Stadium Super Truck Series. Sheldon Creed, he has moved up into second place. He set his eyes on Bill Hines. Hines with an early lead and leading the majority of this race. Looking comfortable. Meanwhile, they have their work cut out for them. When I say they, I mean that is Robbie Gordon, Paul the Dude Morris. They're still towards the back of the pack. Well, Sean Richardson, he hooks an anchor and a chain to the back of our champion, says, pull me around the track, show me the hot lines.
Oh, the dude's left the door open here for Robbie Gordon. Shuts it just as quick as it opened. Through the little dog leg, we're running the shorter course here at Barbagallo for the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks. They rejoin the full circuit halfway down the back straight, and Richardson, awkward landing, brings truck number 12 back into position. And now Dontis, he wants a slice of the action as we get set for the competition caution.
Dontis tries to dive to the inside of Sean Richardson, not able to make it stick. Oh, Robbie Gordon misses a ramp as well, misses 2 ramps. Now, keep in mind, you're saying, hey, why are these guys missing ramps? Well, it is certainly frowned upon. That is not the way the series is meant to be. However, you are able to miss a ramp if you are erring on the side of caution or on the side of safety. So that being said, this is a very short lap here, the shortest lap on asphalt that Super Trucks have ever run. So very quick lap times, keeps the pack really close together, and we've got ramps very early out of some of the turns, earlier than we ever have in the past. And so that being said, sometimes maybe if the truck's still loaded, you don't feel right, that's your best bet, is to move that ramp. You just can't gain any ground on anyone. You see here's a replay on board Robbie Gordon. Gordon trying to put a little pressure on Paul the Dude Morris right there on the 67 as they go down the ski jump. That's a fun shot right there. Fast section here as they go into turn 7. Still on board with Speed Energy, number 7 of Robbie Gordon. Gordon to the outside of the dude.
And that's the grip that pays off down there. See the way the truck gripped up mid-turn.
Big time. And what it's happening, they're staying gripped up. They're getting a lot of traction with these Toyo tires here, and it's keeping the truck really loaded up for a longer distance coming out of the turn. As we go green one more time, last and final green flag. Off and running. We are live. Bill Hines still out in front. Creed right behind him in the number 1. And good news, there is DeVilbiss, number 83, Matty Brabham. He's out from contention, most likely for a win and something, obviously, unless something outrageous happens. But he is out on the track and racing for some points now.
He's 5 laps down, but all the track experience required for the remaining 2 races of the weekend is now Sheldon Creed. The showstopper goes down the inside. He's going to be on the outside for the next turn up here. He missed the race in Long Beach. He's thinking about points because he's your 2-time and defending Speed Energy Stadium Super Truck champion.
Now look at this. They were all saying not a lot of passing here, so you're going to have to force a pass, is what most of them are saying in the drivers' meeting. Right now, Sheldon Creed definitely force it a little bit what he needs to do, but Bill Hines saying, listen, I know you're the champ. I know you're one of the fastest guys that's ever been in one of these trucks, but I'm not going to get out of your way. And he definitely made Sheldon Creed work for it, as Bill Hines right now still holding up a solid second place.
Morris, the phantom move at the final turn on Craig Dontis. That was for position. And Richardson hanging tough. He's looking good here for his best result at the moment in 3rd position. You got Travis Melbourne in the Jeff Hoffman truck, the True Fuel entry. They lock horns going into turn number 1. The positive quality trailers, a little bit negative on the exit.
Absolutely, as they definitely swapped some more paint going through that section right there. They decided to lean off each other. You do not want to go into that first ramp coming out of turn 1, leaning that hard and that being that loud on the skinny pedal, because we saw what happens there. They had to calm down, say, hey, take it easy, got a couple laps left. This is on lap 8 of 11. Only a couple laps left to go here. A lot of smoke fell off those tires. You see some of the faster competitors really struggling to get through the pack. This track is not offering a ton of passing, which makes for very exciting racing. As we're on board right here, looking back, Robbie Gordon there looking back at Greg Gardner in the 410 as they race down the ski jump area here and into turn 7, getting ready to complete another lap.
It's Melbourne now on the back of Hines, looking for 2nd position, so he's got past Richardson. Morris is now up there as well, so a couple of changes on that lap only. We're going to 3:59 local time plus 1 lap. We might just get this race done full to the end.
As you see right now, there is the dude, Paul Morris, at 67. I believe he's holding down P4 right now behind Milburn, Hines, and Creed. So looking really really good. Now, the dude's smart about this stuff. He can put some heavy pressure on Milbourne and push him here, but he knows every session, whether it's a qualifying session, a practice session, whatever, they're getting points. So he's being calm, being mellow as he goes to the outside of his teammate, outside of Bill Hines. Morris able to make it stick. Goes now. He's on the inside. Should have that pass nice and clean. Paul being nice, calm, mellow, using his experience and say, it's a long weekend. Let me just get as many points as I can without just destroying my truck.
And Bill will be thinking that too. Keep in mind, they're teammates back in the championship in America with Ari Leindyke. So he'll be thinking about that too as Robbie Gordon goes down the inside now. And Greg Gardner wants a slice of the action, but won't be able to do it just there as they hit the ramp to start lap number 10.
Huge air right there. What a wild shot, as you mentioned earlier, from those Toyo Tires ramp. Greg Gardner off again. We got to attach a mower deck to the side of that truck. He's been getting the whole thing, really making the lawn look good going down that front stretch. As there is the road pod driver right there of Bill Hines, 57. Still putting in a great race. He is in P5 right now as we hop on board with Paul Morris. He's in the super cheap Ridge Rider truck. Morris putting some pressure up on Milbourne. Milbourne, he is in P2. Our leader and two-time champion, Safecraft Safety Equipment, #1 of Sheldon Creed. He has checked out. He is out in front all by himself, just relaxing, chilling, trying to bring this thing to the checkered flag. It is Milbourne and the dude, both on the podium, but one's going to be P2, one's going to be P3 if they can hang on up on two wheels for Milbourne.
And watch the dude. Just grabs a whole lot of RPM, switches to the outside. Milbourne defensive, but will he run out in the bottom turn? Oh, good driving. He's driving very well here today, Travis Milbourne.
Travis Milbourne says, I am not falling for the oldest trick in the world today.
Final lap. The white flag flies. Woo. And for some of the drivers, they had to be told that that means it's the last lap.
Yeah.
For guys like Jake Kostecki, that would usually mean we've got a slow-moving vehicle out there.
Right, right. So there are different flags from this series coming from the States and what you would see over here with Supercar and some of the other classes as well. So some of the guys that are double up in classes, they got to know what each flag means in each different race car. So right now, on board again with Paul Morris. Paul Morris is being calm, being mellow. Travis Milbourne, he started with us in the Adelaide at the Clipsal 500 2 seasons ago. Came out there, got a little bit of seat time, did all right. Since then, he has proved that he is a race car driver. There are race car drivers, and there's guys that drive race cars. He's a race car driver.
Exactly. Just needed that moment to happen for him. He runs in second. Can he hold it down? Nonetheless, Sheldon Creed, he missed the Long Beach round in California with NASCAR ARCA duties, is back to victory lane. Milbourne holding down second, but the showstopper kicks off the party in Perth with a race win here in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks.
Sheldon Creed, you see him zigzag on the front wheel back and forth. Little freestyle over that Toyo Tire finish line. P1 goes to Sheldon Creed. Congratulations, Travis Milbourne, his first podium in Stadium Super Trucks. Paul the Dude Morris in P3. P4, Robbie Gordon. Bill Hines with the top 5. Great run for Hines. And you see, it is the expression session for the #1 Safecraft Safety Equipment driver right there of Sheldon, the showstopper Creed. He says, I want to be the party starter. Well, the party is started. And Nolte, as you see him out here up on two wheels, up on one wheel, and just having a great time.
Too much grip at the top there. Almost rolled himself at the top of turn #5. There's no doubt about this kid is talented. We saw him on the dirt tracks at Eldora last year in a Camping World Series race, drive from the back up towards the front. A star in the making, and the man has been absolutely unstoppable in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks for the past couple of years. Sheldon Creed, the winner. Best ever effort to Travis Milbourne, 4.5 seconds down the road. Held off Paul Morris for 3rd place. Robbie Gordon was 4th, and Bill Hines, Craig Donta, Sean Richardson, back to Bo Robinson, Greg Gardner, and Matt Brabham, who started the race after the first red flag came out in that session with that power steering belt aboard his number 83 truck. Well, they were told to keep it nice and calm. That was not nice and calm, but that's how we expect it in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Truck. Sean Cermony, looking forward to the rest of the weekend with you guys. Great to have you in Western Australia. 2 more races to come. Jess, what a wild start to the weekend.